Hey, I'm David Sanchez, wrapping up C2E2. It's Sunday, halfway through the day. Here we are in Edgegore with Alan Turner. Yesterday I called it Aragon, and kid you not, he pulled out a knife and was going to stab me.
You got to represent correctly, man.
Yeah, man. So tell us what you got going. You're doing online gaming, you're building this whole free world. Set it up for me.
Right, so it's not online so much as it's tabletop pen and paper stuff.
Okay.
It's like Dungeons and Dragons, that kind of thing. My big pitch is that it's Princess Mononoke meets Pitch Black. It's post-cataclysmic tribal horror. It's built off of the ideas of indigenous people from around the world. So there's a lot of folklore, a lot of mythology, but more the scary stuff, right? So we've got all these tribal people. That's what each of these symbols represent. These are the different tribes in the world, and they're trying to survive against this world that is actively trying to wipe them out.
So it's like Risk, but more Indian.
Yes, yeah.
So like just a bunch of Aztec guys.
Aztec, Indian, Yoruban, East Indian, you name it. There's a little bit of everybody in there. So it's not your traditional elves, orcs, dwarves, medieval, fantasy medieval Europe kind of thing. The focus is coming out of Lakota mythology. So it's taking bits and pieces of our creation story and just reimagining it in new ways.
Yesterday you were telling me something pretty cool to happen to you, because this is out already, right? People are playing
this. Bits and pieces of it are out. The book doesn't actually ship until June, but I'm beta testing and play testing it.
Okay. What was this you were telling me about, the anti-hero, how you're keeping this like very tribal, everybody for their own? Tell me how.
Well, it's not so much anti-hero as much as it's about the range of things you're doing are pretty broad. So there's definitely the ability to jump into this game and play it from the point of view of people who are just killing monsters, right? You can totally do your Resident Evil style experience, but ultimately what it's about is relationships and people trying to build connections with each other and with the world around them, right? So it's you can't just kill monsters all day long. You gotta support your tribe, and your tribe has to expand. Because if your tribe's not there, then who's going to have your back?
That's true. You just can't kill everybody.
You can't kill everybody.
You can't be Germany.
No.
Old Germany. You can't be that. Yeah. So tell us at this stage, this book is going to come out. What other places are you going to display this? Like when is the table set coming out? Where are you going to throw this on? Where are you going to have like 20 gamers jump in here, like your own little just a contest? When's the big stuff coming out?
So the next time I'll be out in the public is Gen Con of this year in August, right? And that's when I'll have the book. I'll have a couple different versions of the book itself, and then I'll be able to talk about the next steps. And the things I can say about the next steps is I am currently working on some interactive fiction, some iPad and Android apps to kind of let people dig into the world. I support this idea of a rabbit hole, right, of storytelling, right? I want you to find a point that you can get in, and then I want you to dig as deep as you possibly can. And I want you to find all the story you want and take it to your friends.
Right. Now, Brian, hey, one step in here. This is Brian, the other brain behind this.
Hello, everybody.
Tell us about your role with the Edgegore.
I'm just sharing a booth with my good friend Alan Turner.
Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. So do you want me to talk? Do you want to talk more about Edgegore? Or you want to talk about?
Go ahead, shoot Brian.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay, I got two things going on. I got a comic book called Gentle Caramel. About an autistic boy hobo who goes adventuring in Mexico, so it's very
That's messed up, man.
Yeah, but
you give every handicap possible.
It's about overcoming like sort of great odds. So he works at pizza and he's got a horrible life at school. He says, "Fuck this! I'm going on an adventure. I'm getting out of this business." So the story is told from his perspective as he tries to survive his way in Mexico. Yeah, so it's very.
Mexicans are trying to survive this.
Exactly. So think about this guy.
He's
living under a train. He's trying to beg. So he's half Hispanic. So he's trying. He can speak Spanish, but he speaks with an accent. He's been living in the States. So it's every curveball of life is thrown at this kid, and he's just trying to persevere. So
it's actually not bad. It sets up for some pretty cool storytelling, because that's in reality that's how life is. Every once in a while you're saving up for something, then boom, something smacks you out of it.
Exactly, and it's kind of a reflection of contemporary culture where there's so many things happening, so many things are moving. So this character is kind of a hodgepodge of what's happening now in all of our lives.
Oh, cool. Brian, that sounds really good. Hey, you want to plug it? You want to tell people where they can get it? Facebook and Twitter?
Beautiful, yeah. You go to gentlecaramel.com. We also have a Facebook page. I also have a game about against social conformity, so you can play the grammar Nazi card against people, you play the race card against people. There's crotch cop, people call you a slut, you got crotch cop to play, so check out pedantic.com or gentlecaramel.com.
Cool, man. Thank you. Brian.
And if you look up,
step back in here, Brian?
Yeah. If you look up Edrigor, this is one of the images from the game. If you look it up on Kickstarter.com, there's a lot of links that will take you to find out more about it. Also look up my website. Follow me, Council of Fools.
Oh, hold on, Brian. I mean, we're not signing off yet. I have to dig into you a little
bit. Okay,
Alan, this guy, he's super experienced in the gaming world.
Yes.
Can you tell people about White Lotus Studios?
Sure. So White Lotus is a game company here in Chicago. I'm no longer with White Lotus. It was founded by myself and a few other people who were ex-Bungie people back in 2003.
Yeah.
And we made a bunch of small but very interesting, strange off-kilter games. There's Stubbs the Zombie, Rebel Without a Pulse, which was a zombie love story. The first, before that, what's that game, the movie that's out?
Warm Bodies.
Warm Bodies.
Yeah.
Before Warm Bodies, there was Stubbs the Zombie. We also had Hell to the Chimp, which is a political beat-em-up game where you're playing members of the animal kingdom trying to decide who's going to be the new king of the jungle, and you basically beat the hell out of each other.
You guys made it big, actually.
Yeah,
you guys made it to the House of the Mouse.
Yes, so Disney eventually bought us when we were working on a game called Guilty Party, which is a family mystery game, kind of like Clue meets Carmen Sandiego. It was a Wii game, and while we were working on that,
so you don't find anybody, basically.
Yes, yes. And so Disney bought us, and we became part of Disney, and eventually wound up working on a bunch of Marvel titles. Okay. So I was the designer on Marvel XP, which is this, it's a backend that sits behind some of the Marvel games that were released last year, Avengers Initiative and Avengers Alliance on Facebook. And it basically kind of reveals story about various Marvel characters between these two games. And as you play the games, more information is unlocked within Marvel XP. So it's kind of a weird mixture of an alternate reality experience within the Marvel gaming reality that kind of glue all the games together. And it was also a bit of an Xbox Live, so it's a place people love.
So from your experiences there, because there's a lot of indies out there, a lot of indie companies, they're looking for that. They're looking to make it big, they get that big contract, they get that experience, they want to get in there. From your own personal experience of finally making it up there, because even with this game, what if Wizards of the Coast comes at you? What if someone else comes at you? You've been there, but what can you tell that gaming company out there looking to take that step that you took? What to expect?
So I think you got to know what you want, because once you get associated with one of the bigger corporations, they have their own agenda, they have their own rules, and no matter how strong your ideas were, they are going to be absolutely affected and filtered through their rule set. So if you could be the most awesome game designer in the world, if you wind up working for Disney or EA or Activision or whatever, you still are going to have to play by their rules. So there's going to be a certain amount of what's the word I'm looking for?
Compromise?
Compromise, thank you. Compromise.
You're tired, dude. You career compromise?
I'm tired. It's been 3 days.
I'm going to email this to
there's a certain amount of compromise, creative compromise you're going to have to make. And you have to figure out where your line is and how far you're willing to go. Because you may wind up with the point where you're not doing what you set out to do at all, and you're only doing what they want you to do. Which may be fine if that's what your goal is. Some people's goal is to get enough attention so they can go and work for these other groups. And they don't really want to do their own thing. They want to work on this thing that they feel validates them. But people like myself, I've got my own ideas that are turning around in here, and I need places to explore them. And the big corporate world doesn't like to take those kind of risks. But the benefit is that once, I think the bigger validating thing is that as an independent, when you start taking those risks and the corporate world starts to follow you, that's when you've arrived.
Okay.
Because if the guys with billions of dollars think that you're a threat, that they either have to buy you or replace you, then you're doing something right.
Yeah, you got your name out there.
You got your name out there.
You want to plug everything about what you got going here? Give us the .com, the Twitter.
Sure.
Throw it in there now.
So my voice holds up. So my website is counciloffools.com/blog, and that's where you'll find lots of information about Edrigor, my game design ideas. I currently teach at DePaul University, so there are bits and pieces about my game classes up there as well. If you want to find out more about Edrigor, I recently did a Kickstarter back in January. It was very successful, and there's an awesome video that kind of describes the culture and feel of the game that attracted a lot of people. So if you want to know more about Edgegore, just search Edgegore on Kickstarter, or look up my name on Kickstarter, and you'll find out lots of information.
Brian, did you have a Kickstarter? Did you throw it in there?
No, I threw everything.
You threw it in there?
I got all my stuff
You're
thrown
quick,
in.
man. You were like, whoa, this is where I'm at. All right. Thank you very much for watching. This is David Sanchez. You guys have a good night.